Dear students, in the previous class we learned what is a generator and how generator produces electricity. In today's class we will learn more about working of a generator. And we know that in a generator, direction of the current reverses during every half rotation of this armature, and the current that we obtain from a generator is alternating current, and hence such generators are known as AC generator. Now let us see the various stages of rotation of an armature. So here you can see two magnetic poles, north and south. In between north and south, there you can see the magnetic field lines. The magnetic field lines start from the north pole and ends in south pole. So here you can see the armature coil A, B, C, D. At this particular stage, the armature coil ABCD is perpendicular to the magnetic field lines. So this is taken as 0 degree. Okay. So this particular stage is taken as considered as 0 degree. So here you can see there are 7 magnetic field lines, and these 7 magnetic field lines are passes through this armature coil. So we know that a generator works based on electromagnetic induction, and whenever there is a change in the magnetic flux linked with the coil, an EMF will be induced in the coil. Since here you can see all the flux lines are magnetic field lines are passing through this armature, hence there is no change in the magnetic flux linked with this coil. Therefore, there will be no induced EMF and there is no current. So at this stage there is no induced EMF in the armature. So here you can see the magnetic flux linked with the coil is constant. Therefore, there is no change in the magnetic flux, no induced EMF, no current. Even though the magnetic field lines are passes through this armature, but there is no change in the magnetic flux linked with this coil, hence there is no current. If we rotate this armature coil in clockwise direction, you can see there are totally 7 magnetic field lines are there. When this armature is rotated in clockwise direction, only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5 magnetic field lines are now passing through this armature coil, and this magnetic field line and this magnetic field lines are now not passing through this coil. And at this stage, initially all the 7 magnetic field lines are passing through this armature coil, but now only 5 magnetic field lines are passing through the armature. So you can see there is a change in the magnetic field lines. Initially it was 7, now it is 5. So there is a change in magnetic flux linked with this coil. Hence there will be an induced EMF. Therefore, the current flows through the conductor. So here there is a change in the magnetic flux linked. With this armature coil. Therefore, there will be an induced EMF in this coil. On further rotating this armature coil in the clockwise direction, that is, when this armature coil is rotated to 90 degree, see this is considered as a 0 degree. When this armature coil is rotated to 90 degree, what will happen? A, B, C, D. The armature coil now becomes parallel to the magnetic field lines. So this is the stage of 90 degree. Okay. At this stage, you can see, you can imagine this. Okay. At this stage, this armature coil ABCD is parallel to the magnetic field lines. At this stage, no magnetic field lines passes through this coil. Initially, all the 7 magnetic field lines are were passing through this armature coil, but now no magnetic field lines are passing through this coil. Hence, you can see there is a change in the magnetic flux linked with this coil. So we can say there is change in magnetic flux linked with this coil. Hence, there will be an induced EMF. Therefore, a current flows through this armature coil. That means there will be an induced EMF in this coil, and this induced EMF will be maximum at this particular stage, because here you can see there is a large difference in the magnetic flux. So the EMF induced in this coil will be maximum. So when this armature coil is parallel to this magnetic field lines, that is at 90 degree, then the induced EMF, the EMF induced will be maximum. So on rotating 180 degree, that means this AB, end AB now becomes vertical to the magnetic field lines, and this CD comes below. That means this ABCD now becomes perpendicular to the magnetic field lines. That means this stage is same as our initial stage. Okay. And here you can see all the magnetic field lines are now passing through the coil. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All the 7 magnetic field lines are passing through the coil. So initially 7 magnetic field lines were passing through the coil. Now also 7 magnetic field lines are passing. That means there is no change in the magnetic flux linked with this coil. Hence, there will be no induced EMF. So, at this particular stage, that is when the armature coil is rotated to an 180 degree, then there will be no induced EMF in the armature coil. So, no change in the magnetic flux linked with the coil. Hence, there is no EMF is induced, no current. So when it is 0 degree and when it is 180 degree, there will be no induced EMF in the armature coil. Now again rotating in the clockwise direction, what will happen? This AB comes to this side and CD comes to this side. So here you can see DC BA. Now this armature coil is parallel to the magnetic field lines. At this stage you can see no magnetic field lines are passing through this armature coil. That means this stage is same as the stage, that is of 90 degree. So at this stage no magnetic field lines passes through the coil. See here, there is no magnetic field lines passes through the coil. So there is no magnetic field lines passes now, but initially all the 7 magnetic field lines were passed through this coil. Therefore here you can see it is taken as 7 and now it is 0. So here you can see there is a change in the magnetic flux. So here you can see there is a change in the magnetic flux linked with this coil, and hence there will be an induced EMF and there will be a current. So this current will be maximum at this stage. And again rotating in clockwise direction, so that this CD now becomes vertical or perpendicular to the magnetic field lines, and this AB, end AB, also perpendicular to the magnetic field line. So now the armature is totally perpendicular to the magnetic field lines. Now all the magnetic field lines are passing through this armature coil. So initially 7 magnetic field lines were passes through this coil. Now also all the 7 magnetic field lines are passing. So there is no change in the magnetic flux linked with this coil. So we can say there is no EMF. Hence there is no current induced in this coil. So at the stage when the armature is rotated to 360 degree, there is no current. And if we plot a graph versus EMF versus degree of rotation, we can see at 90 degree the induced EMF is maximum, and at 270 degree the induced EMF is maximum. But we know that during every half rotation, what happens? The direction changes. So after 180 degree, what happens? The direction of the current changes. So from 0 to 90 degree, the EMF increases positively, and after that from 90 to 180 degree, the EMF decreases. Then its direction changes. The direction of EMF changes, and it becomes maximum at 270 and becomes 0 at 360 degree rotation. So here you can see the time taken by the armature coil for one full rotation is called period T. So we know that from 0 to 360 degree it is considered as one full rotation, and the time taken by the armature coil for one full rotation is known as time period T. Okay, so for half rotation it is taken as T by 2, and for full rotation it is T. Angle of rotation of the armature. When the angle of rotation of the armature is 0 degree, that is initial stage, the time take when the angle of rotation of the armature is 0 degree, the rate of change of flux in this case is 0, because there is no EMF, hence it is taken as 0, and induced EMF in this stage is also 0. When it is rotated to 90 degree, what happened? The rate of change of flux become maximum. So here it is maximum is written, and at this stage induced EMF is also maximum. When it is rotated to 180 degree, what happened? The induced EMF becomes 0, and there is no change in the magnetic flux, that is 0. And when it is rotated to 270 degree, the induced EMF is maximum, but the direction is opposite, and the rate of change of magnetic flux is also maximum here. Then when it is rotated to 360 degree, there is no change in the magnetic flux, that is 0, and induced EMF also 0.